Hello, today we are going to be doing and preparing this amazing Parsi dish called Dhansak and rice. And I grew up in Bombay and we had so many Parsi friends, and they would make this dish, but it was generally a non-vegetarian dish. And then my aunt came up with a vegetarian version of this dish, and this was the meal we had at our home every Hindu New Year. Because by that time we were tired of all the Diwali sweets and all the heavy foods, and at this time of the year I said, let me prepare this because everyone's got Christmas fruit cakes and pies and cheesecakes, and let's add something very healthy and fun for a cold winter day. So we'll start with Dhansak and rice. You could pause. So here we have all the ingredients for Dhansak. And it has 3 dals, which is the tuvar dal, pigeon peas dal, the chana dal, which is red gram dal, and the green gram dal, which is the mung dal. And we have the vegetables, which is spring onions, pumpkin, eggplant, onion, garlic, cilantro and lemon, and serrano chilies. And all this will be a part of the Dhansak. We'll be preparing our own garam masala using cloves, peppercorns and cinnamon. And then we have some ready spices, which is the haldi powder, the dhania jeera powder and the chili powder. So now we'll be cutting and chopping and prepping everything, and we'll just start with the procedure. And before we proceed, the best ingredient, the vegetable, is the methi leaves, the fenugreek leaves. And in India, we don't use these leaves. They use the fenugreek, which is grown on the side of the ocean in the overflow area, and that gets little methi leaves, and those are fantastic. But since we don't get them here, we substitute them with these fresh methi leaves. We are going to start with first cooking the tuvar dal. The Dhansak can be prepared by either putting all the ingredients in a pressure cooker or all the ingredients in a slow cooker. The trick is to simmer it for a long time, and you want to get really good flavor. But today I'm going to combine the 2 methods. I'm going to do half pressure cooker and half slow cooker, so we can get the flavor and the speed, both of it. Let's follow the recipe. Now we are going to cook the tuvar dal. First, in a pressure cooker, we put 1 cup of water and 1 teaspoon of haldi in 1 cup of tuvar dal. And we are going to close the cooker, and we are going to cook it for 10 minutes in the pressure cooker. So now we have cooked the tuvar dal in the pressure cooker for 10 minutes. If you want, you can add a little bit more water. We added 1 cup. You can add like a cup and a half. Just make sure that it doesn't burn. So, and adjust it to your pressure cooker. We've got all the preparations done here. Both the chana dal and the mung dal have been washed and rinsed. The spring onions, the methi leaves, the pumpkin, the eggplant, the green chilies have all been chopped. So we are ready to start our dhansak. We are going to put everything in a big pot and we'll start cooking it. While the dhansak is cooking, we are going to make our own garam masala with half a tablespoon of cloves, 2 sticks of cinnamon and 1 tablespoon of peppercorns. So we are going to roast it in this pan on a low fire. I'm going to put it in here and we'll be roasting this. We are going to add all the vegetables in a big pot and we'll start cooking it. So we just roasted the garam masala, the cinnamon, the cloves and the peppercorns for less than a minute, and it's really nice aroma of the garam masala that you get. Okay? And now we have the cooked tuvar dal, and we are going to add it in this big pot. And we are going to put all the dals, mung dal, chana dal, tuvar dal, spring onions, the pumpkin, 1.5 cups, 3 small eggplants, 1 cup of chopped methi leaves, 3 serrano chilies, and 6 cups of water, and we are going to start cooking it. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of salt, which I've added. We've added 6 cups of water. Please remember that water content will vary, and you add as much as you need while you are simmering and how long you are simmering. Right now I've added 6 cups of water, but I'm sure we're going to need more, another 6 cups more. And start it with high. Once it starts to boil, lower it and let it cook. And while this is happening, we'll grind the garam masala and we'll get ready for the rice. So we have been cooking the dhansak mix now for about 15 minutes. And after it boiled once, we turned it to low, and you keep varying the temperature. But basically simmer it. It'll probably take 45 to 50 minutes to simmer and get all the dals and vegetables cooked. In the meanwhile, after it has boiled, you cover it, half cover it, and keep cooking it. We have 1 cup of finely chopped onion. This is for the dhansak, and 2 tablespoons of sliced garlic. And we blended the garam masala, which we'll be using for the dhansak. While the dhansak is cooking, we are going to start preparing for the rice. So we have 1 cup of basmati rice, and we have 1 big red onion sliced horizontally, like this. And we'll show you how to make the rice while the dhansak is cooking. So we are going to start preparing the rice. We have taken 1 cup of white basmati rice, and we have rinsed it like 2 to 3 times, so the water is not cloudy. That removes all the starch from the water and will give us fluffy and separate rice. So it's soaked for like 15 to 20 minutes, and we are going to keep it on the side. In the meanwhile, we have the sliced onions, and we are now going to take a flat pan, and we are going to add 1 teaspoon of ghee or oil, whatever you prefer. I think we'll take ghee, 1 teaspoon, and we are going to saute or semi-fry the onions. So that's what we are going to be doing. Is it? So we've been roasting or semi-frying the onions now in just 1 teaspoon of ghee for about 10 minutes, and it has brought this nice caramelized dark color, and we will remove it on the side and start cooking the rice. We are going to start cooking the rice now. So we are going to add again 1 teaspoon of ghee. You can add even half a teaspoon or no ghee if you like, but this gives a nice flavor. And you compensate it by having a dhansak which is filled with lots of fresh veggies and salads. So you warm up the ghee. We have removed the water from the rice, and we add it to the pan. Now generally we take a deep pot to cook rice. But the reason for the flat pan is it gives us every grain separate. The rice we were cooking before was white basmati rice. But to get brown rice, we are just going to take the same pan, add like 2 or 3 teaspoons of sugar on the warm pan, spread it all over, just to get a nice caramelized color. And we'll caramel the sugar and then add the rice. This will take a couple of minutes to do that. In the meanwhile, we keep 1.5 cups of water ready. Added the rice to the caramelized sugar, and the rice is turning nice and brown. And we'll roast it for a minute or so. And this is the traditional Parsi way of making the rice. Alternatively, we can use brown rice, which is healthier and wonderful. And we can do the same thing. You don't need to caramelize the sugar in that. This adds a little bit different flavor. So it has a wonderful, taste of its own. And after roasting it for a couple of minutes, I'm going to now add 1.5 cups of hot water. Bring it to a boil, cover and cook for 10 minutes. And the rice should be done. So it's about 45 minutes now that we have cooked, right? We've been cooking the Dhansak dal for about 45 minutes. The dals are cooked. We are going to add 2 more cups of water to this. And we are now getting ready to season the Dhansak and add all the spices. We are going to heat 2 tablespoons of oil in this flat skillet, and we are going to semi-fry the finely chopped onions till they are light and translucent in color. Now that the dals and vegetables have cooked, you can use a hand blender or a traditional wooden blender, but that takes much longer to beat up the vegetables here. So I'm using the hand blender. Please don't use a regular blender because that will make it like a soup, and this is not a soup. So we just blend it enough so that everything is kind of broken up, but it's still grainy in texture. And so the Dhansak mix is ready. The onions are cooking on the other side, and we'll soon be adding them to this. So now we had added 1.5 cups of water and cooked the rice exactly for 10 minutes. As you can see, every grain is separate and ready. We are going to close it and keep it for 5 minutes, and then we'll kind of fluff it a little bit. The onions are now nice and pink in color, and we are going to add 2 tablespoons of dhania jeera powder and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I've given approximately, sorry, to be close, please. So we now add the garam masala, 4 to 5 teaspoons, and we're going to add 4. And at the same time, we are going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil and start roasting the garlic to add to the Dhansak. So now we are going to roast the garlic and add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to the Dhansak. The garlic is almost done, and once it is light and pink in color, we are going to add some chopped cilantro and serve it with the rice. The ready Dhansak and rice, we garnished the rice with the onions that we had sauteed and some cilantro, and the Dhansak with some cilantro, and here you go. We are ready to have a sumptuous meal. Thank you very much.